Welcome to part 53 of Model Steam Engines and Boilers. In this one I'm making the eccentric strap which operates the slide valve in the steam chest. This series, called How to Build a Model Steam Engine, is for my Patreon supporters only. The full-length versions of the episodes in the series contain a lot more information than you're about to see, but this is sufficient to give you a good idea how to do the job. Why is it a good idea to join Patreon? Firstly, you get to see the videos a few months before everyone else. You can download my ebook, The Essential Guide to Miniature Steam, which is completely free. And you can watch the entire series of How to Build a Model Steam Launch, which is over 5 hours of instructions. I would like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters. I could not make these videos without your kind help and support. This episode shows me starting to make the eccentric strap, which is quite a complicated job and it has to be machined accurately. However, the machining will be in the next episode. This is the preparation of the part as I start to clean up the rough casting. A lot of viewers ask me questions like, can I machine a set of Stuart castings without using a lathe? And my answer to that I think is definitely not. However, for the operations shown in this particular video, I will not be using a lathe, although will be in the next one. This clip shows a few unmachined parts sat on the baseboard. One of them is a piece of steel bar stock to make the eccentric sheave. The part in the foreground is the one I'm going to work on. The brass block will make the crosshead, and the other part of course is a slide valve. To turn this gunmetal casting into an eccentric strap is going to take quite a lot of work. The first thing to do is to shape it as far as I can using needle files and in my case a 1-inch belt sander which speeds the job up. So I can see what I'm doing, I'm going to use some of this steel blue layout fluid. It's really good stuff to use because it shows the lines that you scribe on parts very clearly. I've applied the marking out blue to the areas of the casting where I will scribe lines for holes and saw cuts. Before doing this, I cleaned up each side of the gunmetal casting so it fits in the machine vise very well. And in this clip I'm drilling some pilot holes for the holes at each side of the strap that hold the parts together. After using the centre drill, I changed that for a twist drill and drilled all the way through. At this point I would like to mention that it took quite a while lining up the part in the machine vise so that the holes go all the way through and don't run out of line. If the part was crooked, the drill would exit the hole in the wrong place, and I really don't want this to happen. Personally, all these years on, I still find this a difficult and quite nerve-wracking job. At every stage of the procedure, if something goes wrong, you do have to start again. Once I'd finished the drilling operation and turned the part over, as you can see, the exit points of the drill are not bad. They're in the centre more or less. At this stage I'm only interested in how far the holes are from the edge of the strap, and as you can see they're both about the same. I have to cut this strap in half, and that's why the hole in the centre of the casting was oval. For this job I'm using my Burgess bandsaw. Even though the blade is far past its best, it cuts perfectly, which proves that the job I've just done on repairing the guides is more or less successful. At this stage it's very important to know which side of the strap is which, so I've scratched a cross on 2 of the sides, and once the crosses align, all of the drilled holes will be in alignment too. I'm now in the outer part of the workshop, and after cleaning up the rough sawn faces, I press them together to make sure they align properly. Then I coat all 4 of the inner mounting surfaces with this stuff. It's called Friolux paint. It's a mixture of ground up soft solder and flux. All I have to do now, after painting the Friolux paint on the parts, is heat everything up. This is a soft soldering operation. It is not silver soldering, so the part doesn't need to be that hot. To test its temperature, I'm using a piece of electrical solder. Once the part had cooled, I cleaned up each side of it on the belt sander. And here's the eccentric strap mounted in my drilling machine, and I've drilled a hole in it which I'm going to thread to take an oil cup. Once I drilled the hole, I changed the angle of the eccentric strap to drill a smaller diameter hole towards the inside of the eccentric strap. And once I'd done that, I straightened up the strap again and used a tap to thread the hole to take an oil cup. The size of the thread is 5BA, and that's the size of thread that's on an oil cup. Before test fitting an oil cup into the hole, I thought it would be a good idea to use a needle file and remove the burrs. The next part of the job is to fit the two steel bolts that hold the two halves of the eccentric strap together. I find it's best to do this at this stage of the job because even though the two halves of the strap are soft soldered together, it probably won't be strong enough when I come to machine the part. This clip shows a test fit of an oil cup, and as you can see it looks quite good, although the strap itself will need a lot of cleaning and polishing yet. The diameter of the hole in the centre needs to be 1 1/16 of an inch. Here I'm just checking that I haven't removed too much of the external material, and I don't think so, it should be okay. The eccentric strap is ready for machining in the lathe, followed by machining the eccentric sheave to suit the strap. Both of these jobs will be done using a 4-jaw chuck in my Boxford lathe, and I will show that in the next episode of this series. All that remains in this one is to say stay safe, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists, and by doing that you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.